Our next speaker is the incredible Kiah Killens. She is a freshman at Notre de Namur University. She is a graduate of OUSD Met West High School. She has been in leadership roles within OUSD's African American Girls and Young Women Achievement Initiative, and she is on the Alliance for Girls leadership team. If I had to say all her accolades, I'd be here all day, so I'll just bring her onto the stage, the amazing Kiah Killens.
Hello, everyone. Okay, as Emma stated, my name is Kiah Killens. I just completed my freshman year at Notre de Namur University. With a major in communications and a minor in psychology, I joined the Alliance for Girls leadership team last summer, and I would like to take this opportunity to tell you my story. I was born into a family where my father worked with marginalized youth. He was an advocate for young African-American males who were being ping-ponged through the justice juvenile system. It was more than a job for my dad. These young men became a part of our lives. All of my dad's boys, along with all of Oakland, knew who Kentrell's daughters were. And that was a clear warning to his students how me and my sister referred to them, that we were completely off limits. They looked to us as their little sisters and really embraced my brother, with him being the only male besides my dad in the household. My father's drive to make sure young men didn't sink in our society was apparent even in our family. I believe the gender roles of society, however, caused him to be oblivious to the inequalities the girlfriends, the sisters, and the cousins of these young men my dad were working with were experiencing. My dad would come across a few women who he would connect with and become support allies for them, but I did begin to see the contradiction when it came to us women. My dad was persistent in making sure my brother always stayed in sport, staying busy so he could stay out of trouble. The first time I ever participated in a sport was when I cheerleaded for East Bay Warriors. I loved it. The stretching, the dance routines, the competitions, and the friends I made while doing it only made me look forward to doing it next season. Unfortunately, next season was only an option for my brother as he continued with football. However, my dad got down on one knee, looked at me with sorry in advance in his eyes, and wedded me with the worst news of my pre-adolescent life. I was not able to cheer next season because I was getting older and my body was developing, and I wouldn't want to draw that type of attention from boys to myself. It felt like I was being punished for becoming a woman. Aware of how gender roles played in our society in elementary school, it was around middle school when I first realized gender norms and how they prevailed in the racial justice movement on campus. There was a boys group called Brothers on the Rise at Namur, and it emphasized on giving boys an outlet so they can rise above their trials. It was an amazing idea for the fellas, but what tips were they giving us ladies to rise above our trauma? Slap Ass Friday was a national school tradition created by the same scholars listed on the Brothers on the Rise attendance sheet. It consisted of boys chasing around girls and smacking the life out of their butts if or when they caught us. Some of the administration knew about the event, and I believe that's why they enforced dress codes for girls, specifically girls of color. Banning black girls from wearing leggings, shorts, skirts, crop tops, and spaghetti-strapped tank tops didn't lessen this sexual harassment. I think it subliminally encouraged insecurities. Black girls to fear our curves, for they bring you trouble. A few teachers were aware of this epidemic, but their primary focus was to address how the girls responded to the harassment rather than addressing the boys' behavior. I was pretty good at avoiding being smacked, but I once had my downfall. I remember walking to my 6th period science class, and I let my guard down because lunch was over, and I just remember seeing in my peripheral vision this one student who I had class with run down the hallway and winds his hand back to smack my butt. And in that moment, I just was filled with so much rage. I just chased him and grabbed him by his shirt. And before I could really even do anything, the teacher stopped me and was like, "You need to stop before I send you to the office." And in that moment, I literally internalized the double standards that girls receive. I knew my teacher should have walked the student who sexually assaulted me to the office herself, but instead she made it seem like I was the issue for defending myself. I felt like I had no control over my body, like I was entitled to the treatment I was receiving, and it made me feel crazy because no one was talking about boundaries between boys and girls, the importance of respecting personal space, and no means no. It was something I either had to speak up about or shut up about, and I chose to speak up. Mr. Roberts, right. Mr. Roberts was a person who facilitated Brothers on the Rise at my school. Me and my friends used to sneak into his group on Fridays, and he would kick us out faithfully. He told me to come back when I created my own idea for a group instead of trying to mess up what the brothers got going on. I took him up on his offer and told him about my group, Uplifting Sisters, a space for girls to grow together and talk about what we're going through. He introduced me to Miss Savage. She was the adult that held down the space every Friday after fifth period, and this was the first time I noticed my passion for social justice and standing up to sexism. This was also the first time an adult at my school heard me and turned my pain into something positive. In high school as a senior, I created a project and revamped my Uplifting Sisters, creating a space at my school for young Black girls and girls of color in general to develop self-identity, self-esteem, and self-love through sisterhood and creative expression. My group taught me the role of adult allies, to see you, to help you, and to help navigate you. That is exactly what my advisor, Mike Salemi, and my mentor, Ms. Monica Brooks, did the whole year. Allyship with Curtis Shariki earned me roughly $8,000 in funding for my collective. Through Uplifting Sisters, I met Alliance for Girls and joined the Alliance for Girls Girls Leadership Team. When students and adults work together, instead of feeding into the power dynamic of student to teacher, a real change can be made. On the Alliance for Girls Girls Leadership Team, I worked with peers and professionals and attorneys to create trainings for educators to better support girls of color, a modified sexual harassment policy that prioritizes girls' mental health and stop things like Slap Ass Friday. Even though I've graduated, I know that my sisters at Alliance for Girls are holding down the fight and fighting a good fight to address these long-term issues across the school and in the district. This is powerful, and that type of impact is lasting. I want to continue to build my confidence as an advocator and to continue to advocate to my current assistant dean about the racial discrimination Black girls experience when we're able to articulate ourselves. Because of my mom, my sisters, Ms. Brooks, Mush, Mo, Ms. Tassi, Erica Huggins, Emma Mayerson, and all the women who have helped me develop my confidence as a leader and advocate, I want to thank you by helping other women embrace their confidence. No matter how old you are, your perspective matters. Let's train the next generation of advocates. Inform yourselves on the oppressions that are around you, discover your passions and see how your passions can conquer those oppressions, and put your passions to action with the allyship of adults, and let's get it going. Each one of us has the power to reach one. There's about 500 people in this room right now, and if each one of you guys touch one person, that's 1,000 girls. And many of you talk to 30, 50, 100 girls a year anyways, so think of the impact. That's how we build a movement. Thank you all genuinely for the work that you do. It really matters. Again, my name is Kiah Killens, and thank you for this opportunity.